I'm going to turn off Logic Magician here for a second with Control Escape.
Magician off.
And when Logic Magician is off, if I press S to solo,
Toggle channel strip solo on. Toggle channel strip solo off.
and if I press M,
Toggle channel strip mute on. Toggle channel strip mute off.
so you see it says toggle channel strip solo on and off and toggle channel strip mute on and off. Now re-enable Magician here.
Magician on.
And now when I press S,
Soloed. Unsoloed.
and if I press M,
Muted. Unmuted.
Logic Magician is cutting down on how much it's speaking. Let's go to where this bass track starts. And I'm going to solo the bass here. And what you notice there is you didn't hear anything because when playback is engaged, Magician is going to minimize how much it speaks. And something like this where it's very obvious that we soloed the bass track, there's no reason for it to say solo if we're in the midst of working on something and we're trying to keep moving, right? So when playback's engaged, you don't hear any speech feedback for solo. And the same behavior will happen with mute. Now let's talk about the volume. If we press the letter V,
Minus 3.0 decibels.
it tells us what the volume is currently set to. We can change the volume with Command Up arrow.
Minus 2.0. Minus 1.0. 0.0 decibels.
And we can turn it down with Command Down arrow.
Minus 1. Minus 2. Minus 3.0 decibels.
Now, much like solo and mute, if the playback is engaged, you're not going to get any speech feedback. This is great if you're trying to set the balance of your tracks while you're playing back audio. You can adjust your volume without hearing any spoken feedback. So I'm going to hit space to play this again. And I'll turn this up. Command up. Command up. Command up. So I just turned it up 3 times, and I'm going to turn it down. I'm just going to hit Command Down arrow a few times. So there you have it. And at any point during playback, you can just hit the letter V.
Minus 16.0 decibels.
And you'll hear where the volume is. So I'm going to turn this back up a little bit. If I hit V.
Minus 4.0 decibels.
So there you have it. Command up and down will change your volume. But as you notice, this changes it in 1 or 2 dB increments. So I'll just do Command down.
Minus 4.0. Minus 5.0. Minus 6.0. Minus 8.0 decibels.
You see, once you hit 6, it starts to jump by 2 dBs.
Minus 10.0 decibels. Minus 12.0 decibels.
And if I do Command up,
Minus 10.0 dec. Minus 8.0 decibels. Minus 6.0 decibels.
same thing. So Command Option up and down arrow will move us in small increments. Let's say I want to go down to minus 7 dB. So if I do Command Option down arrow,
Minus 6.2 dec. Minus 6.4. Minus 6.6 dec. Minus 6.8 decibel. Minus 7.0 decibels.
there we go. So Command Option down arrow moves me in small increments, and Command Option up arrow will do the same.
Minus 6.8 dec. Minus 5.9 decibels. Minus 6.0 decibels.
And there, I was able to do that a little bit faster that time. I just did Command Option up arrow a little bit quicker. Now, let's say I want to set my volume back to 0 dB. And the key command to do that is Shift W. Now, Shift W is your reset key command within Logic Magician. So if you hit V for volume or you adjusted the volume, hitting Shift W is going to reset the volume. If you hit P for pan or adjust the pan, then Shift W is going to reset the pan control. So if I do Shift W now, since the volume was the last thing I adjusted, it reset the volume.
0.0 decibels.
And you hear the volume is now set to 0 dB. So that is how you can reset the volume. Now, let's talk about pan. As I said a second ago, if you press P,
Center.
it reports your pan position. Command left and right arrows will pan you left or right, respectively. So if I do Command right arrow,
20 right. 30 right. 40 right. 50 right. 60 right.
now the bass should be on the right. And so if you're hearing that on the left, you got to switch your monitors or your speakers around. So now if I do Command left arrow,
50 right. 40 right. 30 right. 20 right. 10 right. Center.
it puts this back in the center. And I
Minus
can
10
keep
left.
going.
Minus 20. Minus 30. Minus 40. Minus 50 left. Minus 60 left.
And you hear the bass on the left now. If you want to move this in small increments, you can do Command Option left and right arrows. I do Command Option right.
Minus 58 left. Minus 57 left. Minus 56 left. Minus 55 left. Minus 54 left. Minus 53 left.
And so let's say I wanted to stop there. Another thing to note is I'm pressing this, but you can press and hold with Logic Magician. So if I do Command Option and just hold down the right,
minus 48 left.
See, it just moves
Minus
us.
47, minus 35 left.
It moves us a lot faster. So keep that in mind as well. Now, much like before, if I'm playing while adjusting, you don't really hear anything. But you can always hit the letter P
63 right.
to hear where your position is. And as always, Shift W
Not read out. Text.
resets it to its default value.
Center.
And I just press P again, and you heard that's in the center. There's also Option W that will let you type in a value for the last adjusted parameter. If I adjust the volume, or if I press V for volume,
0.0 decibels.
I can now press Option W,
0.0 decibels. Volume fader. Slider.
type in
Selection
minus
replaced. Type
6,
6.
and hit return.
Volume fader level. Minus 6.0 decibels.
You see the volume is now set to minus 6. Likewise, if I hit P for pan,
Center.
or adjust the pan, I can hit Option W,
0. Content selected. Pan. Edit tag.
type in minus
Hyphen.
50
Volume fader level.
to set the pan
Minus 50 left.
to 50 left, or Option W,
Minus 50. Content selected. Pan. Edit text.
and just type in
Selection
20.
0. Volume fader level. 20 right.
You'll see the pan is set to 20 right. So Option W lets you type in a value for the last parameter you adjusted. So let's recap. S will toggle solo, M will toggle mute. If you want to see what your volume is set to, you can press the letter V. That will speak your volume. Command up and down will adjust your volume, and Command Option up and down will adjust your volume in smaller increments. If you press the letter P, it will speak what your pan is currently set to, and Command left and right arrows will adjust your pan, and Command Option left and right arrows will adjust your pan in smaller increments. Shift W will reset your volume and pan, or really any parameter that you last adjusted, to its default value. So if you press the letter V or adjust your volume, then you press Shift W, it will reset the volume to 0 dB. If you press the letter P or adjust the pan, whenever you press Shift W, it will reset the pan to center. Now, you can also type in a value with Option W. So if you press V or adjust the volume, and then you press Option W, it'll let you type in a value to set your volume to. Likewise with pan, if you press P or adjust the pan, when you press Option W, it will let you type in a value to set your pan control to. There's going to be a link in the description and the pinned comment to all the Logic Magician documentation and tutorials. And as always, until next time, happy recording.